everyone. My name is Prithvi Jain and I help global brands scale through powerful localization strategies. So, in this video, I am going to talk about whether or not you should plan to localize your YouTube content, and if so, which are the languages that you can plan to do it and how to do it effectively while getting higher retention, higher engagement, and higher conversion from the audience. So let's get started. So first of all, when you are starting with your localization journey, you need to look at the data. If you're simply translating your YouTube videos word for word into maybe X number of languages, but still you are missing out on real growth, which comes with engagement, which comes with real retention. Not just making the content available in multiple languages, but making sure that whichever languages your content is available in, are people interested in watching that content? Are people really watching that content? And do people love your localized content or not? Do you know, according to the CSA report of 2024, localized content, if done right, can increase the watch time by over 80% and can increase the engagement rates by over 60%. And I'm not the one who's saying this. This is present in the public domain. So today I'll take you through the steps which will help you plan your localization strategy and be able to execute it. All right, so let's look at the step number one, which is to look at the data. Yes, you heard it right. You need to open your YouTube Studio and your Google Analytics and understand the regions from which you are getting the audience. Are these from specific countries? Is the data distributed? Are you getting a lot of viewers from different countries? If so, then maybe localization can turn out to be a gold mine for you. You create the content once and then you distribute in various languages, and maybe you get 10x returns after localization. So when you're looking at the analytics, the YouTube analytics, you need to look at the engagement by region. You need to look at the watch time by region. You need to look at the demographics. You need to understand the audience, where they are coming from, and what is the percentage breakup of it. Now, for example, if you see the data and you understand that a lot of audience is coming from Brazil and also from Colombia, so maybe it's a great idea to make your content available in languages like Brazilian Portuguese or Spanish. And there you can gain a real good advantage because people in those countries already know about you, are already watching your content. And when you localize your content in different languages, the people who do not understand the language that you speak can also understand the content. So yeah, that can be a very good strategy for you. Okay, so here let me give you a data insight. The brands that localize their content actually got a 57% increase in their engagement rates and a 2 times conversion when they were localized. And this is present in the Think with Google report of 2024. Now, let me give you a list of tools that you can use to understand your audience better. First of all, let's look at the Google Analytics because it can really help you segment the consumers, the audience, where they are coming from. Secondly, you can look at the YouTube Analytics or YouTube Studio. It will give you a video level breakup. What kind of videos are loved by people in this country or that country? Now, suppose you plan to localize your content from English into Brazilian Portuguese because you saw that there is a lot of massive audience who's watching your content. But then, when you get the video level insights, you can see that there might be certain videos which are loved by them And there are certain videos which are not liked or not much loved by people in those countries. So when you plan to localize your content, maybe let's not do all of your videos. You can plan and decide which videos really got an attention in those countries and plan to localize those videos itself. Because as you can see, you have already tested the waters and this is the time to take an action using data. Also, the third tool that I would recommend to understand your competition by region is SEMrush, because there you can see what other competitors are doing in those regions and what are the keywords that they're using and what is the content of theirs which is popular. So this will help you understand the competition and take effective decisions. Also, I would like to give a pro tip here. You can use tools like Statistica or GSMA Intelligence to see what kind of audience or what is the size of the potential market that you can get after localization. This will help you take an informed decision. Okay, all right, let's move on to the step 2. Now you have decided which countries to localize for and in what languages. So, the step number 2 is to choose the right localization approach, because now you have decided which countries to localize for and which are the languages that you will be localizing your content into. So when we talk about YouTube videos, there are two ways to do it. One way is to use the subtitles.
I didn't expect that will be so many people.
Well, there are a lot of countries who really watch the content and like to read the subtitles on the bottom of the content. Suppose you see in your data that a lot of audience is coming from Germany, and Germany being a subtitle country, it's a really good idea to choose subtitling as your localization approach. One important parameter to decide whether you want to go with subtitles or dubbing is also budget. If you have a limited budget and just want to understand or test the waters of a market, maybe you can just go ahead with subtitles and see how and what your audience reaction is. Let me talk about the tools that you can use to subtitle your videos. You can easily use the YouTube subtitle editor itself. Also, you can use tools like Amara, or you can use Capwing subtitle editor or auto subtitlers, which can help you subtitle your videos. Now, when we talk about AI dubbing, you can use 11 Labs, which can help you dub your content into multiple languages, or even a lot of regional AI dubbing tools are available. You can have a person who is going to check QC, who's a native speaker, who's going to make sure everything is perfect, and then you release your content. Thirdly, if you decide to do the human dubbing, well, you need to go to some professional service providers like us who provide human dubbing, and then they will be help you with the whole execution. They will have a studio setup, they will have a lot of native speakers who act in those languages, speak those languages, and then they will dub your content and do the end-to-end dubbing for you. Well, let me put a pro tip here. Viewers are 3 times more likely to watch a video till the end if it is present in their native language. So, well, that's fascinating, right? And if you can make the content available in their native language, yeah, it's possible that they watch the content fully and understand it well and grasp it better. Now, while we talk about the localization languages, you can also start with the top global languages like Spanish, Hindi, Arabic, etc., which have a lot of viewers spread across the world and who like to watch or consume content in their own languages. Now, let's move to step 3, which is adapting the content to local culture. You know that translation is not equal to localization. No. When you're localizing your content, it means you're localizing the whole feeling. You're adapting to the target audience. So when you're doing that, you also need to update the visuals. You need to update the thumbnails, which are more interesting for the regional audiences. So suppose you release a kid song in English and you see that a lot of audience from Latin American region is actually watching your content. Now what you do is you create a new YouTube channel, you name it as your channel plus Spanish, and then you release the songs in Spanish language. Now what you need to do here is also maybe change the characters a bit, maybe localize the content which is written on the video so that the search is easier. Whenever somebody searches by the voice or by typing, they can easily find your video in their language. So it's really important that you do it wisely and you do it completely. Also, when you're localizing your content, you need to understand the kind of humor which is, or the tone or the style of the original video. It might not be as apt for the target audience, and you might need to rewrite or redo a little bit of some of the things which you can do using ChatGPT, or you can even use DeepL's right option, and or you can come to us and we can help you with the transcreation of that content, and then it better resonates with the target audience. Okay, let me give you a data insight here. According to the CSA report, 75% of the consumers, global consumers, prefer to buy from brands that speak their native language. So that means to increase the conversions, definitely localization is a very good and effective method. Okay, let's move to the step 4, which is test, analyze, and optimize. So when you have launched your content, you need to test it as well. So you can test your localized thumbnails, the different versions of your thumbnails using TubeBuddy or vidIQ. These can give you details on which localized thumbnails are performing better, and then accordingly you can take an informed decision for your further videos as well. The other thing that you need to do here is to analyze, which is to track the metrics, which is using the feedback from the real audience. Because when you launch your content in different languages, you will receive a lot of feedback from different people who are watching the content. If you receive good feedback, that means your strategy and its implementation, both of it work. Okay, a pro tip here. If your engagement for your videos is really high, but the conversion is low, maybe there is a problem with your call to action. So work on the call to action, or even if you are targeting the customers or redirecting the customers from your YouTube videos to your website, maybe you need to rework on the website or localize the website for that matter. Because when they watched the videos, it was localized and the engagement was high. That means they loved the content that you published or really liked your ideas. But when you targeted them to the website and then they lost track of it. Maybe because your website isn't available in the localized languages and they do not speak the language which it is available in. So the things go hand in hand, but it just depends on what you're targeting and how you want to do it. Okay, let me cover a case study here. We worked with a global procurement software company recently, and they came to us and wanted our help with localization strategy so that they can improve their conversions. And once we discussed and planned out and implemented this strategy, the results were amazing. They got 2.5 times increase in the qualified leads from the regions where we localized. So earlier, if they were doing 100 leads, they got 250 leads from that particular region itself. And there was a 40% increase in the engagement rates. So people were watching the content more. And even more than that, people were converting faster or were getting added to their lead funnel. So it was really helpful for them. And I'm sure if you implement your localization strategy really wisely, it can help you as well. All right, so that's it from my side today. I hope you really liked this video and found this informative. If so, please comment so that I can get the excitement and the encouragement to make more such videos and where I can share the insights from my own localization journey and my experience. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.